hello. Different setup today. I'm going to do a refashion challenge for the first time in over 2 years. What am I going to refashion? Allow me to show you. I do not yet have a wireless mic. That is next on my list. Yeep. Oh, God, so much fabric. Right, okay. So, Dan, my lovely husband, picked up this curtain from a charity shop, and I think it's still got the label on. He got this from Cymdeithas Gofal, which is Welsh for the Care Society, and it cost him a whole... I'm going to have to spin you around for that bit, aren't I? Let's try again. The magic of editing. Right, so yes, he picked me up this lovely curtain. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. It's actually 2 curtains sewn into one, and I thought I can make something out of that. But in order to make it wearable, it's going to have to be lined, because look at this. Can you see me? Maybe if I turn the light off for a second. Right. Look! Just look. It's very see-through. I've just moved the camera, haven't I? It's a very professional setup I have here. Right. There we go. So you can see me. So my last refashion was a duvet cover into a skirt and top set, which was really lovely, but I didn't line them. So I can't actually wear them unless I want everyone to see my underwear, which I don't. So any mucky chimps wanting to make comments about that, please don't. I will just delete them. Thank you very much. So this needs lining. Enter lining fabric, and look how well it matches. Oh my God. So yes, that is the plan. Now what I hear you cry. Am I going to make with this? Well, I have to take my mic out for this bit. So I'm shouting. La 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 la. Okay. This is so well thought out. This one, you can't see it because of the light again. Oh my days. I'm going to make this. Still can't see it. Fine. I'm going to make this. That dress with the long sleeves, and not the short one, the long one. Because I get cold easy and I need all of the fabric. So yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. I am hoping to do this in 2 days. It's a very easy pattern. I have complicated things ever so slightly though with the lining, because I will need to do everything double and I will need to sew it together. And my biggest concern is that when I attach the skirt to the bodice, I'm afraid that it's going to be a bit... You can't even see in there. Grumble, grumble, grumble. My concern is that when I attach the skirt to the bodice, there's going to be like this bump that's going to stick out like that. So yes, that's my biggest concern. But this is a sewing project, which means there will always be other things that go wrong. But I'm making this for me, and this is why I'm excited by this, because making clothes to sell is a very different beast to making clothes for yourself. You don't sweat the small stuff. You can cut corners if need be, and it's a much more relaxed process. So I bloody hope so anyway. This into a dress that will be wearable, I hope. Okay, enough whiffle waffle. Let's just crack on. Well, that was fun. Considering I was only cutting out the pieces today, I didn't expect to encounter problems, and I wouldn't have done if I had remembered the golden rule when cutting out pattern pieces, and that is to think about the way you're going to place them on your fabric first. I forgot to cut one piece of fabric on the fold, which meant I have two pieces instead of one continuous piece. It was fine. I had plenty of spare fabric, and because I had been so careful about the way I cut that out, I had a piece big enough to be able to redo my redo. It just means that I have fewer scraps to play with, but you know, we got there. So these are all of the bits here, lining and the real McCoy. This is my pile of unusable scraps. Sewing can be quite a wasteful hobby, so I'm trying really hard to cut down on the amount of waste that I produce with my projects and whatnot. And I am saving up everything that I waste this year. So this will be going into my pile, which... This has been my my little waste bag so far, and you can see I've got threads in there and bits of fabric that I've used for my embroidery projects, and it will be added to that. Oh God. Protect the fabric. What are you doing? Can you come out from under there? Hi. Hi. To those of you who keep saying you want to see more of Charlie, I mean, that's great and all, but he basically just knows how to wind me up, and he does it so well. But they want to see more of you, huh? And this is why I can't film a damn thing, because I have to keep my eyes on him at all times. Good boy, you didn't try not to walk through the lead this time. It's a good job you're cute, otherwise you'd be very annoying. Tomorrow the plan is therefore to sew. It should be fairly straightforward. The pattern is a very easy one. I've complicated things slightly by adding lining. Get your bloody face off. Yes, you're very cute and I love you. I'll give you some attention in a minute. The only other problem that I foresee is that this fabric, the stripy stuff, it frays like a fraying thing. Can you please get your face out of the fabric? Thank you. And there's the postman. Can I have that back? Can I have it back now, please? Can I? Oh. Here's to a productive and hopefully problem-free tomorrow. Good morning, day 2. I have my pieces on my sewing machine ready to be pinned and sewn together, and we shall see how we go. I've got my little dog monitor there, so you're going to be in the living room, not in here. On to sewing. Right, the first thing that we are going to be focusing on is the bodice. I don't think I mentioned yesterday, I had a bit of a nightmare trying to work out what size to make this dress. I am 3 or 4 different dress sizes depending on which measurement I'm taking. I'm a very short person, and therefore my shoulders are always a huge problem. With certain jackets, for example, fitted jackets, I find it really difficult to find any that fit because the shoulders come out here. Even petite sizes tend to be too wide, and I end up looking very 80s-esque. So I decided to go and just make the largest size, because it's much easier to make the largest size and then take it in where necessary than it is to try and get the measurements just right and then find out later down the line that it's not quite right. So we're going to be making the bodice. This was the back piece that I messed up yesterday. It should be one continuous piece here, but I had to cut 2 pieces. I didn't have to cut, but I did. So now I'm going to have to stitch up down the centre before I can do anything with this. Let's get started then. Okay, it's only just occurring to me now that it may not have been such a great idea to put a sweary sticker right in the middle of my sewing machine. So okay, let's get this show on the road. This fabric, it frays. See the threads? They sense freedom. So there you go. There's the start. I'm going to turn this off now because it'll be very boring for you otherwise. And I will rejoin you again when it is time to see how it fits. Fingers crossed. Right. I have a bit of a poncho deal going on at the moment. It's okay. It's a bit bulkier than I expected, but it worked. I don't know if I can show you, but if I were to push the lining out of the way, you can see right through it. So bulk or not, the lining is very necessary, but it works. It's doing the job. One thing I would say is that it became apparent quite quickly that the darts needed to be 2 inches higher, but because this is going to be quite a baggy fit, it doesn't matter. No one's probably even going to notice them, and it's definitely not going to make the fit weird. If this had been a more fitted dress, then I would definitely have needed them a little bit closer to my actual bust. So yes, I am happy with this. I knew this fabric was going to unravel quite quickly, but oh my days, it unravels faster than me when I have a deadline. I need to move this as little as possible, she says, wearing it and moving around a lot. So what's the next step? Says I got to do the neckline and then the sleeves. Let's crack on then. Time for something to eat. I'm hungry. Yeah. Ta-da! I have sustenance. And a corgi, who is also after my smoothie. What do you think, Charlie? It's very colour coordinated, don't you think? Yes? Do you like it? So, it's starting to look like something, which is good. The sleeves are way too long, as I thought they would be. So far, not loving this. I forgot that because I am a mini person, most patterns, the neckline ends up way too big. So I don't know what to do about this. This would be great for a summer dress, but as an autumn/winter dress, when the weather is i.e. wet and windy, this is not nice. I don't like the cold on the back of my neck or anywhere around the neck area. I have long hair for a reason. It's like nature's scarf. I don't know what the answer is. I may have to unpick it in the future and add another piece of fabric. But today I just want to crack on and get this done. So I'm already a bit bored, if truth be told. And I've got to put this on and work out how long I want the sleeves to be, because right now they're nearly down to the floor. I'm tired now. I'm learning a lot, relearning a lot from this refashion. I'm making a lot of mistakes. And number one is to give myself more than 2 days to do it, because this fabric is an absolute arse to sew with, and it manages to be sticky and slippery and stretchy all at once, and it's all of the annoying things, and you can't mark it with anything either. so I've not been able to put marks on to remind me where the pockets and stuff will go. So I've had to dig out the pattern pieces again so I can remind myself. Okay, so we're on to the skirts. And step one of that is to add the pockets. So I've kind of sewn the lining on to the fabric pieces so that I'm in line with where the instructions are. So now it's a case of looking at the pattern piece to see where the pockets have to go, measuring it, and then measuring it on the pattern pieces and pinning the pockets and then sewing it up. I'm going to go with putting the pockets 4.5 inches down, and I will just hope for the best. That has pretty much been my motto for this entire project. Okay. Pocket pieces are kind of in. They've got to be stitched together, which is what I'm doing now. And then I've got to gather the skirt, attach it to the bodice and hem, and then I'm done. But it's going on and on and on. So somewhere in that mess are gathering stitches. There's also a third row that are the stitches that I used to keep the lining material and the main material together when I was putting the skirt together in the first place. So much. Ah! This is the thing that really bothers me. When you've gathered for 1,000 years and then you have to ungather because you have gathered too much. Right, okay, I'm pretty sure my waist isn't that small, so I think I'm done. Bodice. Right sides together. My brain is not working. I'm having to translate English into pictures. In my head. That is the level of tired that we are now at. My brain is only dealing with pictures. So what's the picture? I don't know. So the seam has to be up here, and so that has to go inside. All right, okay. I mean, that's a pain in the ass, but okay. Now I can see why it's been so long since my last refashion. I genuinely don't know which part is which and what I'm looking at. It's done. I should put this on and make sure everything is fine before I stitch it, but I'm at that point where I'm like, what will be, will be. So let's stitch this beast up and then we'll see where we're at. Okay. This is where I could end up right. Okay, to the mannequin. Oh, no. This dress is huge. Oh no. I think making the largest size that they had was possibly not the best idea I had. Right, sit down. there you have it. My easy pattern. To be fair, it is a very easy pattern. I did complicate things by adding lining. Turns out that wasn't my issue. My issue was deciding that the biggest size was going to be perfect. Yeah, I did not think that through. So I finished this dress on the Friday, and you may notice that I'm not wearing a mic because my mic has completely... Thanks, Charlie. Anywho, so I finished it on the Friday, had a bit of a meltdown. I had a lot of a meltdown. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep this and fix it, or if I was just going to put it onto Instagram and say, look, this is made for a regular size person, not a little pocket person, so would anybody like it? And I'll just post it off. Until I remembered that the one thing that is made perfectly to my measurements are the sleeves. And you know what? I like this dress and I like the design and I don't want to quit it. I think I was just tired on Friday, but right now I'm like, this will work. So there are 3 things that I need to fix. This neckline, which really broke my heart when I made it. See, look at, there you go. So yes, this will be the trickiest thing because what I'm going to have to do is unpick this and then I'm going to have to create another neckband and stitch that to this. That will fix that problem. The next problem, well, it's this, isn't it? It's basically, I think I'm just going to have to take at least 3 inches off each side, and without having to remove the sleeves and all of that gumph, I think I'm just going to have to do a kind of a curved... I'm going to have to botch it, basically. The skirt's too long. That's the least of my problems, but because the skirt is too long, I can just take this off and bring it up a couple of inches, and that will magically raise the pockets. They'll still be near my butt though, so what I'm going to have to do is more gathering, and then I'm going to have to gather it like a demon to fit the new bodice. It's going to be a whole thing, so it's going to be a whole other video. When I'm going to do it, I don't know. I might even pack this away and leave it for next year. I'm really not sure yet. It depends just how annoyed I stay and for how long. But I hope you can all agree that other than all of that, it's quite nice. And once it's all fixed, it's going to be a very wearable piece of clothing that I am going to keep and really enjoy wearing. But just not yet. Charlie, God... Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
He's going to say goodbye now. As am I. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.